Hey, what's
Yeah.
going on, guys? Happy Friday. Today I have gameplay on
I'll
Backlot, which
send you
is
the video.
always pre-nade city
No,
for
I'm
some
good.
reason.
I'll send you
I
the
do
video.
take advantage of that, so I'm not complaining, but the enemy team sure is. It was a pretty fun game to be a part of, so I hope you enjoy watching it just as much. Hardcore Search and Destroy is where it's at. It takes me back to the rushing days of Call of Duty World at War. I loved that game, and for some reason I always played Hardcore Search and Destroy.
Are you?
It was always so much fun going for snipes right at the start of the match. I had just as much fun doing that in Modern Warfare 2. Gotta love high rise, guys. But let's get back to Modern Warfare for now, though, and you gotta love Backlot. I sure do, so enjoy the video. Now, the last couple weeks, I've done a Ripley's Believe It or Not video on Friday, so I will contribute to that series with video number 3 right here. But before I do that, I'll share some good news and bad news around the world. So, in bad news, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare, Destiny 2, PUBG, and Valorant have seen cheaters recently, with players complaining of aimbots, wall hacks, and prohibited power ups. With that being said, Infinity Ward has banned 70,000 Warzone cheaters, which is at least a step in the right direction. Destiny staff are criticized for being slow to act in banning cheaters, as are staff at PUBG. Staff at Valorant have an interesting solution to this problem, though. They are offering $100,000 to hackers to find vulnerabilities in their anti cheat system, so consider helping them out, it might pay off big time. In other news, there appears to be some unintended climate benefits due to coronavirus. Canals in Venice, Italy appear to be cleaner. Many countries have seen a notable drop in pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. China, for instance, has seen a 25% drop in carbon dioxide emissions in the last couple weeks. Record breaking amounts of solar energy have been produced in Germany, and switching to a renewable energy
Oh,
source is going to be important as it is 100% more expensive to finance, supply, staff, and operate a coal plant rather than a renewable energy source. In other news, I heard there's actually people surfing in Norway right now. Surf shops are not closed and are able to rent out boards so crazy people can catch some waves. Alright, I won't call them crazy people, but when I hear surfing, I like to think of Hawaii or California, somewhere warm. The water temperature in Norway can range from like 0 degrees Celsius to
oh.
7, so the water must be absolutely freezing. People surfing there must really love it, which is awesome to see. Beats sitting at home doing nothing, I guess. Not that I'm judging those people either. Staying home and doing nothing is stopping the spread of coronavirus, so great job, everyone. In other news, a man built his 3-year-old son a full-size retro arcade in only 3 weeks. He can play both Sega and Nintendo classics on the machine, which costed less than $185 to make. It looks super cool too. It's 2 players and everything. There's Pikachu, Sonic, Mario, and Luigi beautifully painted on the side of the arcade game. And that kid sure has an awesome dad. It looks like you went all out. His dad has friends that are interested too, so this man may have found himself a new calling. I'll link you to the story in the description below, but way to go, Daddy-o. What else? Drinking more water is correlated with happiness, I guess. In a survey of 2,000 Americans, people who said they were the happiest drank 10 plus glasses of water a day, whereas people who were unhappiest reported drinking 0 glasses of water a day. Most people go through the
You
day
know, that's such a
dehydrated, so
That
drinking
is
more water
good.
cannot hurt your chances of being happy. Now for a coronavirus
Fluent,
update.
no.
There are 2.95 million confirmed cases in the world at the time of this commentary, with 205,000 deaths worldwide. Not a whole lot has changed, unfortunately, as lots of people are going through anxiety and depression as we continue to isolate.
Will, just get
Scientists
out of my
continue to work towards a vaccine, and small business owners everywhere are in trouble. Times are tough for everyone, but always remember it is okay not to be okay, and you do not have to suffer alone. Reach out to others if you are not okay. just talking about your feelings is really important sometimes. Alright, now this is a pretty cool story. A boy named Corona wrote a letter to Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson asking if they were okay even though they had caught coronavirus. The boy was being bullied by others because of his name, but Tom Hanks reached out. Hanks said the letter made him and his wife feel wonderful, and friends make friends feel good when they are down. Hanks even sent the boy a typewriter that had Corona on it, the name Corona anyway, and welcomed the boy to write back to him on it. You love hearing stories like this. It's now time for more Ripley's Believe It or Not. The Carne Garibaldi restaurant in Guadalajara, Mexico, claims to serve a customer's food within just 13 seconds of the order being made. You know those orders that take so long to get to your table, your dad says, "What, did they have to kill the cow too?" What would dad say to having food be ready in only 13 seconds? Do we have to kill the cow? The average temperature of the coldest place on Earth, Antarctica, is about 4 times warmer than the daytime temperature of Pluto. Pluto is one cold exoplanet, and I think I would rather see Uranus. Or maybe Venus. It would be a lot warmer than both planets. A 72-year-old man who had been deaf for 15 years suddenly got his hearing back on a 2006 skiing trip. Derek Glover from Lincolnshire, England, was descending from
See, this is why I
7,000
want the
feet
last
in a
channel.
cable
Look how
car
sexy that
when
is.
his ears popped and he was hit by an incredible wave of noise. Now, last week we'd heard about someone who got his hearing and sight back from being struck by lightning, so all you have to do is go skiing or get struck by lightning and you will regain your lost senses. I don't know why it works, but it does, I guess. I cannot recommend you try to get struck by lightning, though. Maybe go skiing for exercise instead. Glenda Clark was in the restroom of a New York City nightclub in April 2006 when a gunfight started outside. She escaped unharmed after a bullet tore through the door, grazed her scalp, and came to rest in her hair. She got super lucky in what would definitely be a scary situation. While we're on the subject of luck, in 2006, Harold Gray of Beaufort, South Carolina won $100,000 on a lottery scratch card. This happened just 20 days after winning $250,000 on another scratch card. And what's more, he used to live on Lottery Lane. Hey, when you're hot, you're hot. What can I say?
Snap his
In
jaw.
July 2006, 4-year-old Hassim Townsend of Albany, New York, survived
I
falling
go from going 16
110
and 2
feet
on a
from an
map I don't even
11-story
know.
window, bouncing off a metal awning before hitting the ground. This child is super lucky. If someone falls off even a 1-story building and lands wrong, death sometimes results. I can't imagine the child had great odds falling from 11 stories, so glad to hear he's okay. And while we're on the subject of odds, Dan Stevens and his daughter Briley of Victoria, Australia, were both leap year babies born on February 29th. The odds of that are 1 in 2 million. Crazy. Francisco Lentini was born in Sicily, Italy in 1889 with 3 legs. He moved to the USA at the age of 9 and became a circus star. Lentini was highly successful, married with 4 children, and lived to the age of 77. So if you want to be highly successful, just consider getting a third leg or being born in 1889, whichever is easier. In 2006, rapper Supernatural performed a freestyle rap in San Bernardino, California that went on for an incredible
Holy
9
shit, I thought
hours
they're
and
shooting me.
10 minutes.
There's
Afterwards, he said
the
that the
token
hardest
right there.
parts were keeping his breath and
No, it's
pacing
not.
himself.
Oh, it is.
Now, this is absolutely insane.
There's no
I
way
have
that thing
trouble
shot me through
figuring
the
out what to
fucking
say
roof.
one sentence from now, let alone 9
There's an
hours from
opening right
now.
there.
I've seen some pretty
Oh, it
good
shot through the roof.
freestyles from
Didn't
rappers
shoot.
like Eminem, but never this long. This definitely might be worth looking up. Ukrainian baker Valentin Stefano created an edible wedding dress for his bride, made from 1,500 cream puffs. The dress weighed 20 pounds and took him 2 months to complete. Would the cream puffs not have gone bad during this time? Here, wife to be, a moldy dress just for you. Well, he's creative for doing this, I guess, and I'm sure it wasn't actually moldy. A California man staged a fake plane crash in his own garden as a Halloween stunt, complete with false human legs sticking out the bottom. The scene was so realistic, it even fooled the police. It was inspired from the TV series Lost and was sealed off with yellow caution tape. I looked this picture up and it looks pretty crazy, and I could totally see how people would think it was a real plane crash. I know some people go all out for Halloween, and this is a perfect example of that.
Less than a minute.
A man from Bensalem, Pennsylvania, who robbed a bank in 2006 and escaped with around $4,000 was caught when he stopped for pancakes.
On to the next
Police
round.
said the man might have got away with the raid on a Bank of America branch had he not stopped for a snack at the nearby Sunrise Diner. Not a really smart move on the robber's part here, but if you love pancakes, you love pancakes. Maybe just go have pancakes and don't rob a bank though, or go get pancakes and then rob a bank. A caddy at a golf course in Long Island, New York, was awarded $34,000 in a sexual harassment lawsuit in 2006 after he was ridiculed by his boss for losing 2 golf matches to a woman. My advice here would have to be just don't suck at golf and you'll not get ridiculed. But if you are ridiculed, you can sue, I guess, so either case might be win-win. Lastly, Australian Pat Skinner got a shock when he saw an X-ray. Australian Pat Skinner got a shock when she saw an X-ray of her pelvis in 2004. It showed a pair of surgical scissors that had been left inside her body during an operation she'd had 18 months previously. This is one of the things I would really be afraid of if I had to get surgery. This ranks up there for sure with
What?
being
Oh
accidentally
my.
kept awake during surgery. You definitely hear horror stories on that subject. But that is going to conclude Ripley's Believe It or Not video number 3. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please rate, comment, and consider subscribing to my channel.
Mission
Stay
accomplished.
safe out there and see you next Friday for video number 4.